Welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD,
and Erin.
So we have a request from Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Now I know this is going to be like an emotional one, right? It's Bulletproof the Eternal. We've heard of it.
I've been waiting for a day when we're all together. We don't have Kat today, but she has seen this before, so
yeah.
Yes. So Bulletproof the Eternal, again, the list of songs that we've got for the girls to see, there's still many on there. This came out in 2020, and it was when we got the Map of the Soul 7 album, and it was just after we'd found out that the guys had signed for another 7-year contract. So it was coming to the end of their 7-year contract, nobody knew what was going to happen, and there was a possibility of like this question of like, was Map of the Soul 7 or their next album, was that going to be the goodbye album? Were they going to sign again? Like, what was going to happen?
And at that point, I suppose it seemed that Jim was about to go into the military.
Yeah, exactly. We really didn't know what was going to happen. So then all this stuff came out, and they also won an award, and they let us know that they had discussions internally about breaking up because they'd been facing a lot of pressures internally, and that's causing tensions between them, and they asked themselves, you know, are we still enjoying this? Are we still able to make music and be true to ourselves and whatnot? You know, bless them, they were breaking lots of barriers, which on the surface looks amazing, but then if you think about the stress and the pressure that comes with that, so yeah.
And personally, I would hate to think that they were continuing this for us, but they weren't happy.
Not for for themselves, yeah, definitely. So yeah, we found out that they did decide to renew, which was great, and then we got the Map of the Soul 7 album. And so even though we knew at that point that they had signed for another 7 years, the album still had special significance of like, this could have been our last one, or there's things in here that they wanted to say. And yeah, so it was just, it meant a lot more as a big milestone. And it's basically how they feel about what they've been through so far and the milestone they reached with this album, their 7 years and then signing on again. So it was a very personal song between BTS and Army.
So I know that this is like an animated MV.
Yeah. So everyone has their own opinion. In my opinion, there's no way they could have made an MV for this song. It almost would have been too difficult to express genuinely, rather than if you're in an MV and you're kind of acting. Yeah. The only way I think they would have been able to do an MV if it was them was if they were just performing the song. Yeah. A little bit like with like Your Eyes Tell, like just standing with the microphones and then singing it. But the reason of the animated MV, which I think works really, really well, is it tells a particular story that, you know, they say like a picture's worth 1,000 words. Yeah. So it's nice. I think they did a really good job and really good choice with it. So.
Should I get RJ now, or will he get me later? Like, am I going to need RJ?
You've got tissues nearby. I know there are tissues because I needed them earlier. I watched the beginning of Up.
Oh.
Oh. It's because you've been watching Vampire Diaries. Oh no. This is the last tissue.
You have to share. We don't know. I don't want to build it up. It's a lovely song and it is very raw. It may not hit you and you know, I don't want to build it up or anything.
Do you know, there are some songs that we do that are emotional songs that don't hit them, but then on a different day.
They could, yeah.
Astronaut, I have smiled happily and I have cried about it on another day.
Yeah.
There was another.
I did it
recently.
in the car on the way to work with Astronaut. I started off happy, then I cried about it during it.
Takes you on a journey.
I went back to happy when he goes, and I love you, and I was like, I do love you, but I'd cried, and it was a very traumatic 4-5 minutes.
No, so I go through the happiness of listening to it and go like, yeah, I love you too, Jen, and I believe that you love me. And then there are times when I'm like, I miss you so much.
It does. Takes you on a journey. Now there's another reason for this animated MV is because it tells a story and there's lots of little bits in here about what they've been through.
Alright, RJ, come with me. And look, we matchy today. I think you should just give him to me, really.
Mm-mm.
When I first saw him in the box, I thought it was a Christmas present for me.
Oh.
I really genuinely did, and I was like, she's going to give it to me soon.
She's
going to give it to me soon. And then she never did. But then you had to get it out of the box to give it to me.
He was a present for me.
You don't need him. I need him.
So please remember to like, comment and subscribe in the comments. I mean, what can you say about this song or about the MV? Is there any parts or any particular lines that really hit home for you? Because I find that a lot with BTS. Sometimes there's one line like that one, I feel that one.
Oh.
Going for each MV. Wow.
I lasted. It got teary.
Do you
but I
know
lasted.
what? I didn't feel teary, but I feel like that hit me in a completely different way. I think I can see why it's emotional and why there are days when that will get me.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually found that quite uplifting.
Good. It's nice.
Do you know what I mean?
It is nice. Yeah.
So it hit me with emotion, but in an uplifting way.
Okay.
That idea of we were 7, but now we're not. Like I say, we're not 7. You're with us. It's all of us.
Yeah.
And the line, the line that I thought, wow, I wonder. It's weird how things play out. Because when RM said about our name that like shamed us, it's like, yeah, the fact that they called themselves Bulletproof Boy Scouts, they named them that not knowing all the, say, bullets that were going to come at them, that they have managed to come through. So in a way, it's like that name that they didn't know at the time would be relevant now.
Very much. I'm getting your thoughts first, then I'll take you through bits and the MV.
I loved the journey through their MVs.
Yeah.
Like, seeing little RM with,
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to do this thing where
You make it worse. Well, I'll make it worse for you in a minute anyway, because I'll talk you through the details of the MV, but...
I really want to go back in time and just, like, give them a hug. I cannot imagine that they said, when they're saying that we're 7, how much, like, a whole company's reputation was on their shoulders. And I cannot understand how they didn't crumble with all of that, and how they were treated, and like seeing those shards of glass they look like were thrown at the MV, and it is all that little shit that has been thrown, and I don't even know the half of it, because I think it would break me, and how they have still survived, decided they still want to keep doing it because they believe their music. Not only do they love it, but their music does real good. And
I think it shows that if they weren't 7, if they were individuals, they wouldn't have got through that.
No.
It's almost like I think for a lot of that there might have been, this hurts me and it's really hard, but I need to keep going and not let you down. And if they're all doing that for each other.
Yeah, I was going to say they did crumble, but they were all there for each other when they did crumble, and they were very private about it, being between them, so that not to show their haters that they were getting to them or anything like that.
But to take all of that and then put it in a song very vulnerably, but say, with the whole message being essentially, we're okay because we now have you on our sides as well.
We're okay now. We're in a good place, but
it always just floors me that they go through so much and they still want to do something like we're the ones that have done something for them. And I don't know that they will ever grasp what they've done for us.
I also think that it shows their strength and maturity from early on, that, I mean, we can get a nasty comment on a video and your instant reaction can be to lash out back, and you have to kind of hold on to that and think about what you want to do. The fact that they don't do that and they go through putting things in their music that even then isn't lashing out at people, it's the way they do it is very clever. And the fact that, you know, it's sad that it still happens to this day, that Hive will go after people legally. I love that they don't sit back and go, just ignore it or go away. They go, no, we're going to go through the right channels, but we are going to...
And they can do that now, but they couldn't at first. So at first, when they got cut from programmes, Bang PDM's answer to that, especially and they got treated really badly when they went to variety shows, Bang Nim's answer to that was, we're going to create our own variety show, and we'll invite armies, and your fans will watch it. And
I love that, instead of saying just suck it up
he
and
had
do
them in a
another
safe
one.
space. Yeah, he had them in a safe space. So they made it by their rules, which was, I think, really, really smart. Rather than, we can't get on these variety shows, just give up. So they're really smart about
or
it.
like I said, just suck it up and put up with it.
Yeah, and I love that though. Bang Nim was not going to have his team treated badly,
he had their
which
backs
was
the whole time.
Yeah, which was lovely.
They haven't always just been 7.
No, they had a few members of staff behind. It was small, but they did have a few good members of staff behind them, which I think made a massive difference.
I love
because
that
label head is really important.
To this day, a lot of people, was it Supreme Boy, P-Dog, do you know what I mean, that they've kept.
Yeah.
Okay, video over. Don't.
Do you want to go through the video, or do you just want me to verbally talk it through? It's up to you if you want it on the screen.
It might be only because I understood the references to like going through the MVs, but there were bits like Shards of Glass, the closing box, that if they reference something, specific.
The box that broke me.
Well, I took that as, putting people in a box and being like, that's what you are, that's what you do, and you stay there.
Yeah.
Or like the broken, was it Jimin with the broken mirror? Or someone like being attacked for the way they look. That's how I took that. But I don't know if there's specific
there are some specific things in there.
No, and you're going to tell me it's when they said about J-Hope wanting him to leave and that's going to kill me.
Don't think there's anything of that in there. So that is that is their old dance studio.
Yes.
So that's the old, And obviously you've got Boy with Love, RM in his pink suit.
I love seeing that hair.
This one,
Oh.
Original rap monster.
He's reaching out to him.
No, why does it say for sale?
So BTS, when they first started, couldn't afford to get proper branded uniforms, so they had to get stuff on sale, and they rebranded and printed them themselves. And so they had to get cheap stuff, and they actually got stuff given by a particular very unknown brand.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't afford actual proper costumes and stuff. And so that's for No More Dream with the school bus. It says BTS solo, because basically they were on their own at that time. They weren't having very much help from anyone.
That's We Are Bulletproof.
Yeah.
And then the glasses get shot off.
That's it, yeah.
That's No.
Yeah, that's No. Yeah. Let's go to the set there.
Danger.
No, I think this is Boy in Love, the school uniform.
Oh yeah. So I was seeing it as like the platform.
Yeah. This is Danger, Jimin. Yeah. Okay, so those are like negative and hate comments.
Oh yeah.
I
suppose Carl Stone's us.
Mm-hmm. And guys, if I miss anything, put it in the comments. Yeah.
That's RM, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's RM.
But wasn't he also criticised for how he looks?
The way he looks, yeah. So again, he was very insecure for the way he looked, and obviously with it being a mirror, and he wasn't always the most confident.
It's so sad, because I look at Erin and I recently reacted to a Fake Love live performance, like rock vibe mix, and RM was in this black shirt, and my God, were we attacked? The moment he came on screen, there was...
They wouldn't give us the full shot of him because we'd have died.
Yeah.
What bothers me though is I feel like people that will have gone out of their way to be hateful, and say nasty things about the way they think someone looks, probably now will be the same people that will be loving the video you said to me about of him exercising with shirtless and stuff, and what a funny twist of events there.
Either that or still having the same level of toxicity. So there's a line in a song, I can't remember which one it is, as Sugar talks about having insults thrown at them like blades of glass. And so that's the blades of glass going at them.
I wanted to see him turn him into sand like Dumbledore does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then build a sand castle.
They do now, yeah. Now he's like, your insults make me money.
Yeah.
And then obviously feeling like the floor's falling out from her. So this, that is known as a black ocean. And that's what BTS
I've heard of
experienced
this.
when BTS were performing live and people hide their light sticks. So when you're performing, you basically perform to pitch black. And it's like really disrespectful, and they got a black ocean, and so that's the black ocean coming after them. So it's really sad.
It's because we don't
That
have
hurts me.
we don't have
Because you see
that
it, right? You
here.
see people, even
Yeah.
if it's not your group, you'll just still bop
Yeah.
along and whatever. But as an insult, and again of toxic fandoms, they would hide their light sticks, and so that they would come out and perform to pitch black.
I feel like I need a universal light stick so that I can. So
The
that
thing is,
I will
Light
never
sticks
go to.
would be my thing. Like,
so
oh my
that I
god,
can
I'd buy
never-
all of
I've
them.
seen different light sticks. So when we went to Lollapalooza for Stray Kids, I remember the person in front of us had an 80s light stick. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's
There's so many more now.
yeah. What I think it's
But-
one of those people can't afford every light stick.
No,
so
for sure.
at least bringing something to.
Yeah. And that's what I mean,
Yeah.
is even when they performed, I think, at a show that had other groups performing, most of the time, even as a mark of respect, you will still bop along and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's fine. But if it's not your main group
Yeah.
of your light sticks, that's fine. But a black ocean is where people will actively hide their light sticks. So
That's what
that
I
you
mean,
are
that's not
performing to
even-
nothing.
So not one single.
No, it's called a black ocean.
I cannot fathom
That many people would team up to be so nasty.
unless you're telling me that they've done something objectively awful.
Yeah.
I cannot understand how such a large group of people. And what bothers me so much is that how can people so easily team up to do something nasty,
Yeah.
but not something nice?
Yeah. Especially because I think if we watch a performance of a group that we've never heard of, even if we didn't particularly enjoy it, we still applaud at the end. Like, you appreciate the person's effort.
There's a level of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we went to British Summertime High Park, the first girl that came on, I hadn't heard of her before.
Yeah.
But there were not that many people there. And I felt like we really made an effort to actively watch her because didn't want her to think she was
Yeah.
performing to nobody.
Yeah.
Didn't go there for her. But I'm sorry. Someone has gotten up on stage who's performing for you. How can you have such lacking manners?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're up there
No.
doing this stuff.
Exactly. Mad
Oh,
respect.
I'm not sad now, I'm mad.
I know you would be, yeah. So again, the video of On
Yeah.
obviously forcing
They're being
against,
oppressed.
yeah. And then this as well is they put you in a box, like you correctly said, but then also if you look and the box is tiny, 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 so they put you in a box and then they'll try and eradicate
Shrink you.
Yeah.
They'll try and make you irrelevant and not exist. And so they were constantly fighting against being put in boxes. And people taking away their space. So here, where RM refers to being ashamed of their name, you were right that it is also about Bangtan Sonyeondan, as in that's quite bold to
Yeah.
call yourself that, but also it was him being called Rat Monster, which we know now that he said, oh, you know, I was young and it was silly and
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
called RM, but he was made fun of for that. So poor RM was the leader of this group being lent on, trying not to show any emotion or weakness or sadness. He was being judged for the way he looked, not meeting Korean beauty standards, being taken the piss out of for his group's name and for his own individual name. It's just like, poor RM, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where did he have, like,
Mm.
where was he leaning?
Yeah. Oh, he leant on J-Hope and Sugar and Jin a lot, I think, because older ones and that.
I also feel like,
But
again,
like you
maybe
said, the seven of
maybe
them,
I
they
give
wouldn't
him
have made
too
it.
much credit, but I like to think that Bang PD was there.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, I think so. He was there more than I think your average label head. But obviously he has said he also left the boys to their own devices a certain amount so that they could figure it out as a team.
Yeah.
Which is good to lean on each other. There's also this, there's parts of this where falling into the water is part of the BU.
And I suppose feeling like you're drowning, fighting an uphill battle, trying to...
Yeah, and I
Like,
think this
Just
one
trying
as
to
well,
stay afloat, that's it.
yeah, I think this one is, you see this shot of RM in the water and he can't, and he's sinking and he
Yeah.
can't get out, but then later it comes back to RM in the water and the purple armies come down and get him and give him the energy to swim up. So there's actually this
Yeah.
water scene comes back in again later.
Oh.
So Sugar here, this is Sugar from, is it Spring Day? I can't remember, but he's holding his shoulder.
That shoulder continued to, what, 2020?
Literally,
2020
yeah.
had the operation?
Yeah.
Imagine feeling so desperate
Mm.
that you've done something to yourself that essentially, for however many years you've suffered
Yeah.
for, simply because
He didn't want to be kicked. He thought that the label would be, and again, I suppose them in their, like, for a lot of idol groups, from what I've learned so far, is in your first couple of years it's vital, and if you don't start making traction, even though you've got 7 years on your first initial contract, that could be cut. Your band could go under at any point.
It's a cutthroat industry.
Yeah. So he didn't want to get kicked out if the label found out, but he also didn't want to leave for medical reasons when the group all needed each other so much. But actually, when the staff did find out later, they were like, well, of course we would have wanted to heal you. Like, it's not because they didn't have good people in Big Hit. They did.
No. I
but he
appreciate
sort of took that
been.
upon himself. That
It's
just
a fear that's brought from what you know goes on within the industry.
Yeah. Army. So now they're getting more purple.
Oh, it's
They're all
like
getting up.
they're
They're all standing
healing
up.
them.
And this is a turning point for them
Young
when they did
Forever.
Young Forever. And this is going through the MVs. This one specifically, they didn't have any money, so they had to use all of their
Yeah.
managers and employees' cars.
Oh, I remember the MV. Is that I Need You or
Run.
Run?
Run.
Blood, Sweat and Tears.
And it's interesting because it's the seasons as well.
Yeah.
Spring Day.
Yeah.
See, these lyrics are really sad because they said that they've never understood why their fans liked them and why they stood. And again, it's this self-perpetuating like doubt. And so it was like, tell me why you're still walking with us, because the amount of shit we got, and you know, they've never truly believed in necessarily. They knew they were doing good, but it was like, we're not just being commercially, like, even with something like you know, you've heard of fan service where they do all this stuff of pretending to be boyfriends on stage. Like, they did teeny bits of that at the beginning, but they very, very quickly said, we don't want to do this. So they weren't pandering to as many sort of commercial audiences on, you know, things to get them the traction. They could have, as it were, sold out and got much more traction more easily.
And some of the songs and MVs, like the MV for Spring Day, Bapsay, No, the message are ones that people would be a bit like, maybe you should quieten
They
down.
took risks, for sure. So they did have this kind of bafflement of, why do these people like us? But they were so grateful for it at the same time. So I just think these lyrics are really sad because they're like, tell me why are you still here?
Also, I think there's this thing that I don't know how it worked before or exactly how it works with all K-pop fandoms, but this whole BTS and Army, so like in a positive way, like codependency, like you're not just a fan, you are an army, you are part of that, you know, so it's not like a typical what we would have in the West connection to, I'm a fan of so-and-so, I'm a fan of so-and-so, but it's not, like if someone says to me, you're a fan of BTS, I'm like, no, you don't get it. That's not.
Would you remember you asked me? You said, "When do you call yourself an army?" And I was like, "I don't know."
When
there's
you
a
know,
rule.
you know.
I was like, "It's a feeling."
I think.
Do you know why I think you know? I think it's when someone says like in your presence something bad about BTS and your head whips round with I'm ready to throw hands. What did you say? Like that's when you know, like, oh no.
Yeah. And then also just to note that they're sitting around this campfire and they're in their Wings era outfits here. And Wings was, I think, 2016. This is just before they started winning their big awards. So again, the irony of the timing of these lyrics on this scene in the MV is like, tell me why you're still with us. We haven't won anything big yet. We keep getting excluded. Yeah.
The whale from Zero.
Yeah, so we haven't, I don't think you've yet listened to Whalian 52?
No.
Okay, so basically there's this, I don't even know if it's proven, but there's a theory that there is a particular breed of whale in the world which is alone, and it's called the loneliest whale in the world because it sings at 52 megahertz.
Goes again.
Sorry. It's fine, it just has to find its own whale because the other whales can't hear it because it sings on a different frequency than the others. And so they have a song called Whalian 52, and it's a mixture of the whale and the aliens of, as it were, of like, you know, we say like with these are lovely, and that's why the whale is a symbol in a lot of army stuff, because it's like, we were alone, but then you just have to find your people that are on the same frequency as you, and then you will not be lonely anymore.
Oh, I feel that so much.
So it's that Army takes BTS and puts them on the pedestal.
And then surrounds them.
And then if you pause that there, that's a concert.
Oh, yeah.
That's a concert hall. So you can see they're in the stage in the middle, and now all the lights are in the stand, and that's now all the Army lights.
I did think, though, this bit where... And it's hard to do, I think, with this kind of animation. When we zoom in on them standing there, they are looking around in a bit of a disbelief. Yeah. But I think it's hard to get those facial expressions in this type of animation.
Yeah, and I love the animation because it is so simple. But you're right, they do a good job, and it's like the big eyes, and you're like, oh, it is really sweet. It's really well done.
There was the lyric. It said that even if the winter returns.
Yeah. But winter is the symbolism of the loneliness, as it were.
And because they know that even though they're now kind of at the top, they're still going to get the shit. Top, bottom, wherever they are, they're still going to get the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my point more was that even through this, they still... I know they do believe, but do they really think that we would still leave them now?
I think it's more of that they know that they may not be able to do this forever, and they don't know how long, as it were, this being on the top for most people is described as like a bubble. It's only a moment in time, and most people don't get it for as long as they do, and they've had it, which is at the same time wonderful but at the same time terrifying, because they're like, wait a minute, this is unprecedented, what's going on?
And they have mentioned as well that fear with military service, and
I just can't. I know, but I cannot understand not loving them the same way I do.
I know.
It doesn't...
Oh, well, even more. They're just growing up into fat man.
Even if they decide one day that they're done, they're going to move on as solo artists, or if they're going to leave the music industry and they want to have a private life that we don't know about, I would still be in my kitchen, maybe washing up, and I'll suddenly think, I wonder what Yoongi's up to. I wonder how Yoongi is. You're always going to have that.
Their music is going to live forever.
Oh, yeah, you'll still be listening.
And so they will never die.
No. They have made something eternal. Like, good music doesn't die. Good music.
You've made your mark on the world. It goes down in history. So.
Yeah. But again, that's what I'm saying, is that's so wonderful, but at the same time, can you imagine the pressure of that? I've made a mark on the world. Shit, is it a good mark? Is it all right? Like...
Or after the Black Armies.
So there's also something here of just the fact that they've done this a lot, but also the fact that even when they're singing, they're performing in an outward circle in one of their earlier shows. Even when they didn't have enough of their own songs, and they remade a J. Cole song of Born Singer, which was originally Born Sinner, and they did that facing out of the crowd in a circle that was rotating, and they all got really emotional because that was like the biggest crowd they'd ever played to. So that, I think, as well, is like a little symbolism there of them being in that circle and performing outwards.
And now we have that on proof.
Yes. Born Singer's that tune. It's really good. And then this stage is just symbolising all of the times whenever they have a concert, and a lot of all the groups do this, they tend to have a format, and they have like the welcome, they do their section, and they always do like an ending mention
notes,
and whatnot, and they've shared lots of different things, but one of them was like V has shared when his grandma passed away, in the Philippines when they were younger and things like that, and there's just, I think it's just symbolising so many times they've shared stuff of being upset, because it's one of them crying and then they're all crying at him crying, but then they're all so then we've literally seen all of them cry on the stage, but there is was it the Wings tour when Jimin got upset, and basically it was a slight difference in the format of the ending mention when he started thanking the members rather than just the audience and their families and stuff, and so it's just really emotional, and those were like the outfits that they were wearing when they did it. And obviously the army symbol is like doors.
Yeah. The BTS symbol and the army one.
Yeah.
And Boy With Love.
Yeah. And so again, the flip side of being from Boy in Love to now Boy With Love.
Yeah, like I said, I found that uplifting.
Yeah,
song.
Lovely. I think it's so smart. They fit in so many little like nuggets and Easter eggs of information that you could quite easily miss if you you don't know what you're looking for. That's fine. And if I've missed any, let us know in the comments.
I suppose it's one, unless you go through it like that or watch a video explaining it to you, you could watch it several times and each time be like, that could be,
Yes, and that's why it's nice, because it shows you how far they've come. So to that point at the end of the Soul 7.
Just want to give them a hug.
Yeah.
It is a very beautiful song.
Yeah.
I don't know if they performed that live.
They never had, and that was a big thing of people being like, "Oh, you're ever going to perform this?" And it was like, again, because if they performed that, it was like, "Is this a fucking goodbye? What?"
Yeah.
But then we found out that
that's
why they told us before it was released we have renewed for another 7 years, because I think armies would have shit themselves when we heard that. I can't remember if they did it at that Bulletproof one they did in Busan. I can't remember if they have or not. I'll have a little look.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure I've seen it either at PTD.
I mean, I think they have, but like once, and it was because it was a big deal. Like they'd never performed that live.
Busan might make sense because they knew then
they were
what
all
was
going to
about
start.
to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because maybe like if you guys react to it, like I'll just be sick that day. I just can't do it. Oh,
beautiful song though. I can see that there'll be days when it makes me emotional, because what will hit me will be the days when I'm like, I miss them together. Oh my god, would they all?
What?
Because they're not together all the time anymore. It'll be those moments when that will hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, most I found that an uplifting song.
Yeah, it's a lovely song, like vocally as well. Even though it's very sad, very raw and vulnerable, but it is vocally. It's really lovely, and the chorus is really lovely, like very grand, like big instrumental. It feels really powerful.
I also noticed that J-Hope goes first out of the rappers, and I feel like that doesn't happen very often. Out of the three, I feel like he normally goes last. I wonder whether because when you get RM Sugar and J-Hope, I feel like J-Hope's rap style is more different to theirs, so that's why he normally does that bit towards the end.
Yeah, they also went in age order, didn't they? J-Hope, RM, Sugar.
No.
What was it?
It was J-Hope, then it was Sugar, but then RM came in, I think Sugar came back in. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Because that's also their age order. Oh no, RM's actually, I forget, RM's actually.
Yeah.
J-Hope's older than, it's September and March. Yeah. But no, I don't know if there was any particular reason why they did it that way around.
It would just be where they wanted to tie up with certain parts in the video.
February. J-Hope's February.
Is he February? No.
Sugar's March.
In September.
You remember, I don't know your birthdays, but I know theirs.
No, that was a really beautiful song, and I don't think it'll be one that I'll be scared to listen to. But I do think on certain days I will sob in my car.
So that was our reaction to BTS Bulletproof the Eternal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.